protect you. Anything that you say here cannot be used against you. We are extending the privileges that are guaranteed to you, and please feel free when you make your submission. The Audit Office has failed to comply with Section 28 of the Audit Office Act with regards to the submission of accounts for audit. I'll go through the act we have enacted. The office shall ensure that proper accounts and other records relating to such accounts are kept in respect of all the office's activities, funds, and property, including such particular accounts and records as the Commission may direct. And as soon as possible, after the end of each financial year, the Audit Office shall prepare accounts and submit to the Commission of a statement of accounts in respect of that financial year or in respect of such a period. The accounts of the Audit Office shall be audited by a public auditor registered under Public Accountants and Auditors Act, Chapter 27, and appointed by the Commission. The Audit Office is one of the important oversight institutions in the country, and therefore should have high probity in complying with the statutory provisions with regard to transparency in financial matters. What were the challenges which you faced, which then caused you to submit your audited statements in arrears in violation of the provisions of the law? Over to you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Our mics are now working. So we can...
Thank you, Chair. Yes, the financial statements were in arrears. I just want to give you a brief background that indeed the Act requires the financial to be audited, and also indeed as a sign who belongs to the international community is a requirement, but the possible contribution to the delays after the operation session of the Act, we were required to engage the audit firms registered with PAB, and to also appreciate that these PAB firms, our clients would do outsource. So we went through the due process also to manage conflict of interest. We did a tender then, and it took also a bit of time. We finally agreed that the firm which is going to audit the Auditor General's office, if it has got the clients, we will log those clients, and during the period they will not participate in the audit which we outsource. So we finally engaged in a firm which accepted our offer 28 February 2017 to audit 2016 then. So that's when they started the audit. The firm previously, before the Act, we had internal arrangements within the office. We were not able to engage external auditors then. And the other factor, obviously, from 2016 also, there was the issue of also COVID it affected. And when we engaged initially there would be
in 2016.
not 2016. I mean 2010. We are saying we are out the set of account they are behind. Yes.
Okay.
But as I said to
So COVID affected you when?
to 2020, obviously. The period of 2020.
Proceed.
Then we engaged the firm to audit their accounts, their appropriation accounts and the other financial statements. And then when it also a transition from appropriation account, which is the accounting, the cash basis of account, to accrual basis. So I'm saying that's when they audited the firm.
And what is the name of the what is the name of the auditor?
MGI, formerly Majando and Company. MGI.
Majando or Majando or Majande?
Majando.
Majando.
Yes.
And how do you select your firms?
What we did, we considered at a minimum a two-partner firm. Secondly, we scoped out those who had big clientele. But what we did, we said at least a minimum of two partners. And then we did through the tender process. We invited a number of firms. At least we had two partners. Yes, for quality control process. Yes.
Any supplementary?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't think it's supplementary because I didn't hear answering the question. But the question is what challenges. What are the challenges? What we get from here is the history of the edge selecting the company from 2016. But what we wanted was the challenges that they faced as an office in 20. These account financial statements are for 2020. So what were the challenges, or what are the challenges for 2020 financial statements? Is it COVID?
Previously, I think for 2020 also COVID did impact on the process of the audit. We need a challenge.
Oh, yeah. In what way COVID was a challenge for you to? Can I read the question? What are the challenges which the institution faced in causing it to submit financial statements in arrears? In violation of which the provisions of the law, Well, in what way COVID was a challenge in 2020?
Maybe before you come in, you see the reason why this question is so important is that if you look at your reports, most of the people that violate in your report who submit late are also using similar reasons. That's why we expect the Auditor General to lead by example, so that Harare, seat of Harare or seat of Gawan don't then also use the same reasons, because how do we then put these people to account? Because I understand you are still from 2016 up to, are you now up to date?
Chair, yes. 2020, the COVID-19, it was a challenge in the sense that there were lockdowns during that period. That was the main challenge. And to answer your second question, I've worked hard to bring those financial statements up to date. As we are speaking now, I would say we are up to date. 2022 has since been signed off. 2023, we expect to be finalized before 30 June.
Okay.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Yeah, on the second question, 2022 Auditor General report on page 293 shows that the Office of the Auditor General Financial Statements was audited from 2019 to 2022 and an unqualified opinion was issued. Can you confirm this? If so, why is the audit opinion issued by MGI Chartered Accountants in 2020 financial statements is different from the audit opinion indicated in 2022 Auditor General's report on page 293? Maybe you can answer that first part of the question, then I'll go to the second part.
Thank you. 2019 financial statement is qualified adverse opinion. Then in 2020 is also qualified. It's a qualified opinion.
Auditor General, your accounts were qualified. That's very interesting. Why? Why were they qualified?
It was qualified because the accounting framework is IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standards, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we are supposed to comply with.
Yeah.
But a statutory instrument was issued then in 2019 where the rate was 1:1, right? So the conversion of the financial statements were not able to use the spot rate, which is covered by the IFRS. Yes. So
you've answered. I've understood. Through the chair, you must endeavor as a flag bearer of good governance accounts that are not qualified.
Yeah, because like now we have just written to over 100 of parastatals that had similar opinions like yours. So you put us in a very difficult position because they will still come and say, okay, this problem is everywhere. Even the Auditor General itself has the same problem, you know. But I'm sure you take note of that. Maybe the second part. Okay, you want to come? Okay, before you.
Is it only the international accounting standard on hyperinflation, or the other ones that led for you to have that opinion? Or it's only one? Because some of them that we are looking at had a different international accounting standards that they breached because of exchange rates and because of valuation of assets, that kind of thing.
On IS1, International Accounting Standard 21, it was across all entities, including us, because we could not comply because of the circumstances there. So hence we had an adverse opinion in 2019.
But is saying, is it the only reason which led to you to receive that adverse opinion, or there were other issues apart from
2019? Yes, it was the IS 21 issue.
And what about the other years where you received an adverse report? Was it still the same issue, or there were other issues emanating from law.
I think we did not have an adverse opinion, but a qualified opinion emanating again from IS 21.
Okay, thank you. The second part is that if the Office of the Auditor General was not audited during these years, could you kindly provide this committee with the reasons why your station decided to mislead the users and policymakers that you were audited and the clean view was cleared? Okay, it's the second part of the question. If the Office of the Auditor General was not audited during these years, could you kindly provide this committee with the reasons why your station decided to mislead the users and policymakers that you were audited and the clean view was given?
We were audited since 2016. We've been audited. We have the audited financial statements.
From 2016 to 2023.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe let's move to the next one.
Thank you so much, Chairman. Now you get the question is Section 84 of Public Finance Management Act requires every ministry, statutory fund, constitutional entity, and public entity to establish an audit committee. Can you confirm the existence of the audit committee in the Office of Auditor General? If yes, may internal audit committee chair or the board chair finish the committee whether they received the audit reports from 2018 up to 2022 financial years? If yes, what are the major issues raised and what measures the board took or considered to have management address the issues raised in this financial year's audit report, and also ensuring that accounts are prepared in timely and accurate manner? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chair. I can confirm that we now have an audit committee where a board was appointed 2023, June, May 1, but operationalized. It was appointed in May 2023, and following that, the various committees, including audit committee, and the current committee was able to interrogate our financial statements 2021 and 2022.
Are you first?
Yeah, I just want to say to you, the audit committee is in place. We were able to present to the audit committee the financial statements for 2021 and 2022. And they looked at that. Okay, and it was also in the 2023 financial statement, they looked at that. And as an office, yes, there are issues which has been raised. We have, we are working on the findings of the auditors.
According to the Act, we are all aware, including you and me, that there must be an audit committee, and its function is that to make sure that they look into the financial account, they make recommendation as part of that. From 2016 up to now, we only have to appoint audit committee on the 1st of May 2023. All these previous consecutive years, there was no any audit because there has to be minutes of meeting that they meet at least maybe twice or so a year. So how did you compensate now for the other lost years? For now to say now the audit committee is now has to look at the financials from backwards when they were appointed the 1st of May. I don't think it holds water. When you think it's not prudent, I would assume maybe your answer would say we did not have an audit committee from previous when we are required by the Act to have them. And what is your comment on that?
Thank you, through Chair. Follow the operation of the Audit Office Act, yes, it was a requirement, but we did not have a board then. There was a commission, I think you briefly, but there was no board. It's something, I would say a legal issue to that effect. The board was only appointed last year, in 2023. So we did not have an audit committee prior to this current board. We did not have an audit committee.
But what were the reasons why the minister took so long to put a board in place?
Maybe through you also, Chair. I think we need to define, maybe the members need to know what are the functions of the audit committee. It's a requirement. It's a requirement. There's no two ways we can go for 5 consecutive years without an audit committee. Definitely, and even the audit committee, it must have minutes of meeting. That must be documented. And for us to come and print one day now, because there's an audit, there's a required that's coming in, I think this is a cover up from my own views.
Thank you, Chairman. Maybe we may need to deliberate on this further, Chairman, because the audit committee is a subcommittee of the board. In the absence of the board, it was not there. And I like your question to say, why did it take the minister that long? And that issue we have to take it with the ministry so that we get to the bottom of it. But I think that's where it lies. That's my contribution.
My question is, how did you internally audit yourself during the time amongst your comment?
We maybe previously were just like in other. We did not have a board. So it was an internal arrangement that a team does audit their probation account. But after the authorization of the Act, then that was a requirement that we should be audited by external auditors. So we could not, appoint the external auditors. It was only after the authorization of the Act which stated this that requirement that you should be audited. So then on the board, as I think at some point in 2021, as it's been indicated by also by the it's in an administration issue with the sitting with the Minister of Finance. At some point, a board was appointed, but it did not, take off. Yeah.
The Ministry of Finance is here. Can you maybe please shed more light on this matter?
Thank you, Chair. What I can confirm here is there is some delays on the audit committees, what they were supposed to do. done in, I don't remember but I can confirm it took time for them to kick off.
The audit committee or the board? Because I think the biggest challenge here was the absence of the board. Because without the board, you can't have the audit committee. Why did it take long? Or what were the issues?
We had problems with the people who were supposed to be in the boards. That was the biggest problem at that time.
Okay, I'm not minister. I must protect you also.
Thank you so much, Chairman. I heard they were saying there was an internal arrangement of auditing themselves. Was there in a highlight or a booklet that said, in our account we are not balancing or we are balancing? Do you have that any report of saying an arrangement thing? Because there is no way in organization you can audit yourself and you do not give us results. Do you have anything like that, a report internally? Just to see whenever you take offer, we need to see your account we are not balancing, you put a rate or whatever.
My question is on the, I understand that on the composition of audit committee, it has to comprise of certain people and certain criteria must be met. Definitely must be met for it to be composed. And this other function is also to appoint an external auditors. But now, who was appointing external auditors? Because I can see here there's a Janjo which was appointed in 2016 to do the audit of 2017, sorry, 28 February 2017. They were appointed, the MGI, this is Majanjo, they were appointed and there was no audit committee and they were appointed to do audit for 2016, 2017, we talk about 2018 going forward. In those respective years, with the absence of the external auditors, were you given the mandate or to audit them without the audit committee being involved? Because I believe the function of the audit is part of to be able to appoint external auditors, isn't it? Maybe we can shed light on that, Chair. Thank you.
Over to you, Auditor General.
Thank you, Chair. I'll ask the Chief Finance Officer to respond.
Thank you, Chair. Maybe we can start with the question from Honorable Mabusa. Thank you. The issue of the internal arrangement, it was like, we are made up of sections, and those sections are given portfolios to say this section is going to audit Minister of Finance and the other given. So out of those directorates, which are not part of, because mainly what is being audited in the Office of the Auditor General is the Department of Finance, Administration and Human Resources, where the financial statements are produced, where the transactions, the procurements are done. And so the issue was to say, for transparency and accountability, maybe let's have a directorate, one directorate that is appointed for compliance, to look at the financial statements that are done by the other directorate, which is the Finance and Human Resources Administration Department. And that directorate would then report any issues that come up, report to the Auditor General himself. And that was then.
Yeah, but I'm sure you also acknowledge that such kind of arrangement for an office like yours was not the best.
Yeah.
You acknowledge this. Because you are auditing yourselves internally, one department, then the department must give a report to the Auditor General itself over matters that you are presiding yourselves. Maybe there are legacy issues, but surely you must have an opinion on whether such kind of arrangement, according to yourself, whether you feel
Yeah, maybe if I can, with your, can I move to the other question? I think if I heard the question well, it was like to say the makeup of the audit committee. We can confirm that the audit committee that we have is actually headed by the chair, who is a CA.
who is that person? Can we have the names of the audit committee?
The audit committee is made up of the chairman is Mr. Norman Mondiwa, who is a chartered accountant. We also have the Mr. Eric Kawara. Is a human resources specialist. Yeah, before the expiry of the tenure for one of the board members, Commissioner Chigora, he was part of that, and the Ministry of Finance is looking for a replacement for that one.
There are supposed to be how many? 3.
3 is the minimum.
So currently you don't have.
I mean the maximum.
Is the maximum?
Yes, but you would find that the quorum, if it's made up of 2 non-executive members.
Sorry, Chair, through you.
Let them finish.
I'll cannot mislead that they are
you must speak to
Let's
the
go.
chair.
Yeah, I'm talking through you.
No, but I have not recognized you. You must speak to the chair. Let him finish first.
Yeah, so those are the members that we have. In terms of the appointment of the external auditors.
Okay, wait. If you come in now.
Say, you cannot mislead us by saying that there can be a maximum of 3. When was Mr. Norman Mondiwa appointed? And when was Eric Kawara appointed? Because the purpose of the audit committee, it is to do an oversight of financial reporting, to review the financial, its accuracy, to look at the completeness and the compliance with the accounting standards and regulatories. That's number 1. That's their function. Yes, he must be chartered. Number 2, he must do internal controls, evaluating effectiveness of internal controls. Isn't that so? And also audit functions. But now if you're coming to misleading us,
Please ask the question.
the question is that what is the composition of the audit committee there, and when were they appointed? That's my question. If they're not there, they're not there.
Okay.
The names that I give, Chair, these are the members that make up the audit committee currently. And when the board was made to function, remember this is the same board that could not operate when it was appointed in June 2021. It could only operate after the administrative issues were sorted out, and they then came on board on the 1st of May 2023. So when they did the inauguration themselves, they then appointed the various committees, including the audit committee. So the appointment of the audit committee is simultaneous with the appointment of the board, we could say, because after the board was appointed on May 1, they sat down and appointed various committees, the human resources, and including the audit committee.
Okay.
I think follow-up, Chairman.
Yeah, I think maybe we also had an oversight. I think we could have benefited more if we had also called the board, so that I think it's on our part.
Yeah, the only follow-up I will have is, what is the total number of board members that are presently on the board as they stand? what is the size of the board?
At the moment, we have the 4 non-executive board members, and we have 2 executive board members to make them 6. They are supposed to be 10. Yeah, so the others, we have an expert in ICT, he has not been appointed. The chair passed on in August, and he has not been replaced. So this is why we have that shortage.
So the chairman, last follow-up would be, so your evidence is actually that half of the non-executive members on the board are now sitting, constituting the audit committee. With 4 non-executive members and 2 are in the audit committee.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the Minister of Finance, maybe we need to engage the minister so that he can help them to make sure that the board is in place. Because because as long as the board is not in place, the committees can't function properly, then we have problems. Because we don't want to have this kind of challenges with the Auditor General. So we must try to appeal to the minister when we call him, so that they can fully go through. So maybe we can move to the next, unless
maybe lady knows why Mesa isn't appointed the chairman.
She doesn't know. We will ask the minister, right?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Is the minister aware of what is happening? That the boss or maybe
I'm sure the minister will be aware, because he's the one who appointed. Maybe with what the general wants to come in.
Thank you, through the chair.
You will come up.
Yes, the minister is aware. The CG reminded the Minister of Finance, and on 21 May, we met the minister as a board, and we highlighted that statutory meeting with the minister. It happened last week. So we is full aware. Thank you.
So maybe I think we can then later on resolve that we must also communicate in writing to the minister, so that remind him also, because this is an office that he works right in our office, so we want the things to be in order.
Chair.
I recognize him, then yourself.
Mr. Chairman, I think the problem that is there, that we are facing, we're going to continue to face this same predicament if we do not deal with the audit committee, because it must comprise of a minimum of 3 members, and 1/3 of those, according to the regulation 42 of the Commerce Act, it says 1/3 of those in the audit committee must have a qualification like accounting law and such kind of thing.
So that's the only point of order. Let's at this stage we must just ask questions. Then we will deliberate when we are on our own.
Sorry, let me ask the question. The question is that from 2016 to 2018, were we having an audit committee or not? And what made it for us not to have an audit committee all along until 2023? 2023 on May. That's when we had an audit committee. And that audit committee also is not comprising, compliant.
Chairman, can I help the honorable then? We must separate the governance processes. This is a management team. They do not have competency to answer issues pertaining to a higher body, which is their own. So I think Chairman's original point was correct, that as we move forward, it's imperative that the board is invited to to answer issues of corporate governance that are not of an administrative nature. We are laboring these poor souls for things that they have no capacity to answer. It's beyond their pay grade.
Yeah, I think that's the point. So let's concentrate on issues that it was an oversight on our side. We could have called the board as well. But if there are issues that come out of this inquiry, which we think when we deliver it, that we must call the board, then we are empowered to do so. We'll proceed on
Then
that.
through your chair,
Yeah.
then most of the questions that I hear is mostly affect on the audit committee. 90% of the questions that were asked.
Okay, let's concentrate on their questions. Then if there are remaining questions that need the audit, the board itself, then we can, when we deliberate, we can then make a decision. Yes.
Just to point that there was no board then. Except that we had an audit commission for 2015 there, which was just made up of the retired judge and the commissioner from the public service. The other members were executive.
Yeah, no, I think
Yeah.
we have understood that one.
Yes, yeah. And I think there's another question which they said, what is the process of appointing the auditors? We did it through the tender which is governed by the Plus Act. We did that due process. To appoint the MGI and also the current auditors, PNA.
But I wanted, it's good that you reminded me. When you started, I think you have a deliberate process of targeting smaller auditing firms. Is that what I think that's what I got from your initial submission, and I wanted to ask why. Because for your office, you will benefit more if you have a more reputable. I'm not saying this one is not reputable, but because I'm hearing them for the first time. But I also understand I'm not in that industry. Maybe they are well known. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Our criteria was a minimum of 2, and the other firms that, as I said, we were outsourcing. We were outsourcing the parastatals and the companies. But the key issue was we wanted at least a minimum of 2 parties.
Through the chair, what chairman is saying, what the chairman is saying is that as you move forward, it would be prudent that you change the criteria that you use to appoint audit firms. And the example he gave you is assuming you dealt with a larger firm and it qualified your accounts. The nature of the qualification would allow you to be better in that their experience would be something that actually benefits you as a board. So don't target a minimum of 2 parties. Try and get the very best firm to audit you such that they set a standard that becomes a hallmark of how you operate.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's noted.
Let's go to the next question.
The next question, Mr. Chairman, question number 4. Chairman, the 2020 narrative report produced by MGI Chartered Accountants, formerly Majandu and Company, on the 2020 financial statements is a different format from the format which the Office of the Auditor General uses on appropriation accounts, local authorities, and state-owned enterprises. The narrative report produced is silent on auditors' recommendations, risks or implications of the audit finding, and implementation of the prior year audit issues. Our question, Madam Auditor, what might be the reasons of different format in presenting the audit information from other appropriation accounts. Correct, Chair.
Over to you.
Thank you, Chair. I'm not quite clear. Different format, we are saying they were not indicating the, for example, the risk. I can only comment.
Honorable story, among that, a value for money. Maybe you can start with.
I can only comment that on the MGI report, the management letter, they do indicate the risk, though the terminology is different. They say effect, in other words, what could go wrong, and also the recommendation. Then they would say what is the criteria, maybe the standard, what should be the standard which should be followed. They would also indicate whether the risk is medium or high. I'm not sure if I have answered your question, but the risk they do state, they say effect. What is the effect of their finding? And also recommendation, they do recommend. They do make a comment.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Let's move. And I see number 5 is largely been dealt with. So,
in the same people, MGI general counsels, are they not the same people that are setting the financials? Surely there is a format that they do. There is a consistency that must be there. And what is your comment on the consistency? Even if you change, I know in accounting you have to change after 3 years or 5 years, change the auditors for the sake of rotation. But in this way, my question is, isn't it prudent for us to have consistency, seeing that we have the same chartered accountant? If I've done my accounts for you today, this year, surely I would carry them over with the same format. Previous accounting, then go the year 2021, I'll put the financials there. If they are, the balance sheet must have 2021, and then you comparatively to 2022, going on like that. And then surely, if they know silent auditor recommendation, what in your effects, what did they say on the auditor report on your financial? Is there anything that they've said so that we can know surely this is the recommendation of the auditor? Because if you can just say the effects is a different terminology, but seriously, we could be able to hear that surely even there is a different terminology, there should be same words that are talking about recommendation in the financial statement. Isn't that so, ma'am?
On the recommendation, I will just give an example. It was to do with the repairs and maintenance, where they say the organization should find ways to replace equipment that has reached its useful lives.
okay. Let's go to number 6.
The Office of Auditor General's equipment are carried.
Mike, please.
The Office of Auditor General's equipment are carried into the statement of financial position at ZW 45,837,111 as at 31 December 2020. Then the management has not stated its asset at fair value, despite the continuous depreciation in the currency, which is in contradiction with IAS 16 and Office of Auditor General record indicate that the assets were last valued in 2011. Therefore, the non-current assets are currently understated. To ensure the policymakers and other users receive accurate and trustworthy financial information, kindly advise this committee of your non-compliance with IAS 16. What is the current weight of non-current assets in Zimbabwe dollars if the audit issue is resolved?
Through you, Chair.
Yes, you can proceed.
I think our reaction is that the observation is acknowledged, and during the time, the issue of revaluation of assets, as you would know, we were coming from cash accounting appropriation, which was like when you purchase, you write off all the assets on the date of purchase. So that was the format that was used. So when we then looked at the movement, the transition to accrual accounting, there was need for us really to do a revaluation of the assets so that they give a correct position. That it took a bit of some time when we were trying really to find our way into this new dispensation. But however, we have since done the revaluation for the assets in 2021.
Isn't it prudence or accounting standards that we should do at all times on the PPE, plan and equipment at cost, and maybe subsequently use a cost model or revaluation model according to when we are dealing with the hyperinflation economy? Surely that's what we should do, applied according to our accounting standard. And in this case, there was no evaluation that was done. That's why we are asking that can you advise us what was the evaluation of this asset that was 45 million in Zimbabwean dollars, and then what is its value at cost? Surely it impacts on our financial position and financial statement if we don't apply the IAS 16. And what is your take?
Yeah, this is where we are saying there was an oversight then, but in 2021 we were able to do the revaluation for the assets.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Maybe I think let's now go back to, you remember when we were doing budgeting, when you requested for us to ask for more money for you. One of the promises that you gave us was that if you are fully funded, you will be able to enhance your capacity so that you reduce the work that you are outsourcing, thereby generating more money for you. In fact, when I met the minister privately, I was so convinced that if you give the money, we might not, next year, we might come maybe and ask half of what you have given us now. So maybe, since we are now almost half year, maybe can you update us on where you are, whether we will be able to stick with that when we meet the minister.
Thank you, Chair. In terms of the budget, yes, the budget was approved with your support, which we appreciated. However, in terms of release, it remains a challenge. When we met, we make also a presentation in terms of the budget. The operation budget, 25.6 million sick, and the release was 7.8 million, and it relates to salaries. So, which constitutes 93%, 7%, then it remained for the other activities. So, the release still remains a challenge. There was a shortfall, a 6-7. As we are speaking now, we capped our expenditure. We had applied 6.4 million sick, but we are yet to get a release. That's the shame. And we also, when we got an opportunity to indicate to the Honorable Minister that this is the way we are. Thank you.
Naita basa mbereshka. Idamu zamani mzali kuitwa value for money audit. Tuti iyenge shongorora nasi financial audit report inotira nema transactions. Then para another separate audit inowasa kuitwa inenge value for money yanomboita mamwe institutions here. Imese ni institution mari mzali mkuitu.
Thank you. Value for money, fair for we don't have any value for money. Maybe you can assist in there? No. We have not done any value for money.
Zokubvunza bvunzo nekuti pabvunzo mabvunzayo kuti panombotorwa ma-independent companies achinonoaudita kumwe muchizoda isu pakupera kwazvo tichida kuzoziva separliament kuti pavalue for money kukupai kuti muwedzera staffing nekuzonotora kuti zvinonatsobuda pakuchena kana kwaitwa value for money audit toziva kuti zvakanaka ndezvakashata ndizvo. Saka ndinokubvunza kuti yakagumbudzidza kuti varini value for money inenge ichitarisa maoperations enyu nemari inenge ichiswekoko nemadetails anenge achibuda.
Maybe we would say something that we can look into the future, right?
Your chair, maybe my question could be, maybe it's not related, but it is because we once engaged them. It was retention of staff qualified, remunerating them. What have they done? We are almost halfway the year. Have they recruited any? They have any model? Like last time we talked about in South Africa, where they employ certain people and they have certain agreements with them over a period of time. They will stay with us so that we get retained. Because remember, these are highly qualified people. Once you have them, they are hunted like something else. For us to be able to bring in money, like we said in the past, we said if we can empower the Office of Auditor General, we can be able to retain, be able to have value for money for many people. What have they done for what we have deliberated in the past? We talked about retention, talked about even auditing for other auditing, not outsourcing, doing it ourselves, empowering ourselves, giving them the tools of trade. What has happened? We were advocating for that, and I'm still advocating for that, so that they can be resourced, they can be happy, and we can be able to save our nation. That's my input.
Thank you, Chair. It's a way of retention, but it's still work in progress. We even talked with the minister then. It was in July 2023. And I was requested to maybe, as you might be aware, there's a retention fund under the purview of the Public Service Commission, where the other professionals benefit. So I did write to the PSC. So that's why I said it is still work in progress. We haven't got the firm up, so that the staff of the Auditor General benefit. And it's something also which I flagged to the minister, and we are saying Ministry of Finance apparently is our parity ministry. And the tripartite is made up of the PS, the chair of the public service, and also the chief secretary. So we're pleading with the minister that we are our parity ministry. Please help us. We don't have another voice where we can, say, despite the pack, because the arrangement, we find that other ministers, they will be knocking on the Minister of Finance door, or they meet in the cabinet there. For us, we don't have that representation. So it's something which we discussed and thought, please, we are your child, help us. Whatever request which we made, one of the requests which we made, that the Constitution gave the Auditor General a mandate to audit local authorities. We applied for the posts, we got the post for the staff, but as we are speaking now, there were no managers. That was another plea which I was making, so that we are auditing 20%, 80% is outside the audit office, so that we are able to take over some of the parastatals. The retention is still a challenge. The other person rest, we are training chartered accountants, but as I said, the resources are limited, and the staff turnover is still high. We haven't reached where we can, able to retain. That's the major challenge. Even if you compare with other sites like South Africa, even Uganda, you find that in terms of the budget, they are really fully, supported, and their voice is there. Is also the pack to assist the Auditor General, both to operate operationally and independent. Yeah, thank you, Chair.
Chairperson, I will need your assistance in this question, Honorable Chair. Maybe you'd ask it later. In her introductions, she said that she is the acting Auditor General. And I would understand that Madam Chidi, the former Auditor General, she resigned around May last year. And in terms of general accepted standards principles, normally a person can be acting for a period. After 6 months, it's deemed that you're no longer acting. How we can play a role as a court so that we have a person who's not acting, who's substantive Auditor General, when she does the duties, she doesn't think about maybe there might be another Auditor General who might be appointed. Maybe you can assist me, Honorable Chair, to put that question in a proper way so that we can see what we can do as a committee to help this situation. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's one of it falls under that category of those ones that were supposed to be answered by the board. Because I'm sure she will not be able to answer that one because not really it's for the board.
Yeah, I wanted to say that the board reminded the minister. Yes, about that they still they haven't appointed a substantive auditor. Yes.
So I think what you can do is like their disadvantage is that unlike other institutions who have a minister that can go and lobby on their behalf, the only voice that they have outside the minister is PAC. So it's sort of disadvantage. And the minister of Tanga Pakuriro also vanozodhila nevaoleta zvatsvai mari yacho pamwe kunonokokuya kwenyu vari vachingototi kuti unozokuona. So I think when we deliberate, part of the resolution that we can make is when we engage, we need to engage the minister on the outstanding issues. So what I can ask them to do is, you know, the issues that we raised with the minister last time, the issue of renovation,